Good morning and welcome to ATOG. Now today we're going to be going fishing. It's quite early, I think it's probably about 7:45 now. Well, it's not early, but it's suddenly just got light, which is nice. I can actually get out and go fishing now. I don't want to go fishing in the dark, but it is cold. It is. I don't know if you can see my other breath, but it's bloody freezing. You see the pool here, it's just... it's absolutely solid frozen. So yeah, it's going to be a tricky one today. I'm going to go out, I'm going to try and get some pike. I'm going to test out the new lures that I've been making, see how they do. But I've got a sneaky suspicion I'm probably going to try for the carp as well. Whenever I'm there, I always want to try and catch a carp. So I think we're going to bait a few spots, try and catch some carp first. So get them feeding, things like that, get them confident, and then we'll have a go for them. And then in the meantime, we'll have a walk around the bottom lake, try and pick off some pike. If I don't get anything there, we'll go to the top lake, try in there for some pike. If I don't get anything there, we'll come back to the carp spot and sort of try and finish stuff with the carp. So fingers crossed we get something. It is bloody cold. I need to go and put a jacket on, but yeah, we're going to get straight on the road and yeah, fingers crossed we have a lucky day. Okay, so I'm in my other car now. Obviously I'm not going to use my nice brand new car for fishing, so I'm in my other car that I use sort of running about and stuff like that. I just had to defrost the inside of the windscreen, which is always a bonus. It's the last thing you want, but just while the car's sort of warming up and stuff like that, looking around, it's going to be a tough day, I think. It's bright blue sky out there, the sun's coming through, so it's not ideal weather to be catching pike on, but we're going to give it a go anyway. The whole idea of this is just basically get out and test the lures and just see how the lures get on. And also we might be able to get a carp out. The lake I fish at the moment, it's predominantly sort of nighttime bites, sort of as it starts to get dark, sort of 8 PM onwards, and the bites sort of stop coming around sort of 4 or 5 in the morning. So it's not ideal, but I've got a little sneaky spot that I want to try. It's a spot that I used to fish years and years ago when I was younger, and it's sort of getting right into all the snags and behind a load of trees and stuff like that. And it's just where all the carp are held up and they feel safe. So that's where I'm going to put a little bit of bait in, get that sort of going a little bit, and yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed, we might be able to winkle a carp out. It's going to be a bit dodgy because it's super tight. You'll see when we get there. But yeah, now that the car's kind of defrosted, I can kind of see what's happening out the front. We're going to get on our way, and yeah, hopefully the roads aren't too bad. Okay, so we're here. Roads weren't too bad, to be honest. There's a lot more ice and snow on the ground here than is where I've just come from. But the lake is slightly frozen. There's only a tiny bit of ice on it, but I'm guessing now that the sun's come out, that's going to go pretty quickly. So there's a little bit of ice, but yeah, it looks pretty decent, to be honest. I'm hoping the water's a little bit clearer, just because every time I come over it, it's always rained quite heavy. All the mud's come off of the fields, and it's just turned the water like a dirty brown coffee sort of colour. So I'm hoping the water's a little bit clearer. If not, we're still going to give it a go anyway. Still want to test these lures out. So yeah, I'll give you a quick look at the lake, and we'll set up. Oh no, we're going to go to the little secret spot first, chuck some bait in, see what we can do there, and then we'll go and have a look at the lake. Oh, leaf fell over. There is quite a bit of ice on here. Let's have a look. This is normally one of the swims that's good for pike. Let me flip this around to show you. So there, as you can see, all that, it's all frozen. But once that sun hits it, it goes all the way up to about sort of down like that. It's not a huge lake. The lake sort of spans all the way down to that end there, so it's not a huge lake. It's probably, I don't know, about 1.5 acres. I'm terrible at sort of guessing sizes and stuff, but yeah, it's not too bad. I'm hoping the ice isn't too thick. I don't know, quite thick. I mean, there's plenty of water we can fish up there. You can see all that's in the sun, so that's all thawed out. There is, I don't know if I'm going to be able to zoom in on that or not, but there is a pike float in the distance. Basically where them two ducks are on the screen, literally just where they're going, there's a little pike float. I might try and get that. But yeah, so this is where we're at. And what we're going to do is, like I said, we're going to have a little go for the carp, just because I've got a few hours to kill, so I might as well have a little go. We're going to go down to the little secret spot right at the very end, right in between all the snags, behind all the trees, things like that. And we'll chuck a little bit of bait in, just see if we can get some sort of feeding response. And while that's sort of cooking away, we'll have a little chuck about with the lure rod, and hopefully we'll see what we can get. But God, it's just lovely out here. Check out the scenery. It's just beautiful over here. So nice. You don't get hardly anyone over here. You get the odd dog walker, but it's just so peaceful. It's absolutely lovely. A little bit creepy being over here on your own when I go night fishing and stuff, do a few overnighters. It does get a little bit creepy, but last time I was over here, I was during we had a storm. I can't remember what storm it was, but it was blowing an absolute gale, and yeah, thought the bivvy was going to get blown away, and just awful. But it's an experience, and it's all still fun, so that's why we go fishing, I guess. But right, I'm going to get around to this little secret spot now, and I'll show you what I'm going to do. Okay, so this is where we've come to. There's a lake above here that we're going to fish first, and what that does is when that overflows, all the water comes down into the main lake, comes down here, and you can see this is like a natural spot where the carp are just going to be drawn to. You've got an oxygenation of the water, you've got fresh water coming in, and also you've got all these snags. There's just loads of trees all overhanging this water, and this is where the majority of the stock carp are, in this bit of water. Trying to get them out of here is a nightmare, but that's why I always fish this sort of end swims down this way. I always fish this sort of end, just because you're guaranteed to get a bite, but you've got to fish super strong, super locked up. Hopefully I can do a couple of videos on that, just showing what I do and how I fish it, but yeah, it's very tricky fishing. But this is the little spot that I was talking about. I have fished this before. I've had quite a few nice fish out of here. Not big. They don't get ridiculously big in this lake. They're more sort of old fish that are quite scaly and really dark and things like that. Really nice. So that's why I like this lake, to be honest. It's just nice. It's quiet. And not a lot of people know about it. Now, from fishing this spot before, I know that all of this area here, there's no snags underneath there whatsoever. There's no there's probably a few twigs and things like that, but there's no branches, there's nothing I can get cut off on. We've got this tree that sort of runs along here. That's probably about the only snag there is. So as long as I can keep them away from that area, I should be fine. That's sort of as soon as you hook them in, basically, it's usually literally get them hooked, pull them up and scoop in the net within a few seconds, and they don't even know what's gone on. That's the whole idea of it. And you got to fish strong down here as well, so I'm going to be using my Pike gear for this, just because I know that's not going to fail. So all I'm going to do is I've just got some sticky creel boilies. Love these guys. This is all I use. I don't use anything else apart from like pike, calls, hemp and things like that, but this is all I really use. And all I'm going to do is, they're only small sort of 12 millers, they're not huge baits. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to break these up. So I don't want to be putting whole baits down there. I want them to be sort of rooting around, so I'm crushing it up. Just like that, a little bit of crumb, and all I'm going to do is just going to underarm it just in this little area where this stump is. You can see the little the ripples there, just in that area. That's where I'm going to be fishing, and it's quite shallow. I think it's probably only about a foot, maybe a foot and a half. It's not deep at all. So if there are fish here, you're going to see swirls, you're going to see bubbles, might even see a towel coming out. So yeah, it's pretty exciting. This is probably my favourite style of fishing. Getting little air traps set up in the margins, things like that, walking around, seeing the fish and actually targeting the fish you want. When this is clear, it's literally like an aquarium under here. You can, in the summer, you can just see them all swimming around, and it's just absolutely incredible. I've probably counted about 20 to 30 fish in here. I've caught probably about, I don't know, 9 or 10 of the fish that are in here, the carp. And I want to do a proper season on here, just so I can try and get as many of them as I can, basically. The thing of having such a low stock is you do tend to capture like the same fish over and over again, so it is one of those things you just got to keep persevering with it. But what I'm going to do is now I'm going to get a few more bits of bait in, and then we'll head up to that top lake and we'll give that a little go for the pike. This is always the worst bit about this walk, this little beam you have to get across, because it doesn't look deep, but you step in it and it sinks down to about a foot and a half of mud. You just don't want to go on that. So this little tight rope bit here, oh look at that, Ninja Warrior, here I come. And this is the top lake. Again, there's a little bit of ice over there in the distance, but it shouldn't affect me because you can't really get around that far bank to fish. You can, but it's a little bit dodgy. I might give it a go to see if I can, but yeah, this is even smaller than the other lake. It's about half the size, goes all the way up over there, and it's just lined with reeds. So, oh my breath, that was a long walk. Right, we're going to give this a go. I'm going to start off using the little perch lure that I've made. If you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen this. really happy with that. I've had to put some weight on the hooks just because this just didn't sink down as much, so I've put the weight on there just to sink it down. But yeah, really excited to get fishing here. I've only fished this a couple of times. I've not caught anything out of here, but I know there are pike in here. There's also a big orange koi in here. If we see that, then I might have to try and target it. It probably won't be feeding, but we'll see. But yeah, really excited to get these lures going. Now, I know I'm going to lose some of these lures. I've got a few with me that I've made. I've got a few others that I've bought. I know I am going to lose them just because there's snags everywhere, but it doesn't matter today. If I do lose them, I can just make more. So it's not an issue, but right, I'm excited to get this in. I really want to start fishing. Okay, so I feel like I've fished that spot as much as I can now. There's not a lot else I can do. The other spot down the other side, it's completely frozen over. I can't even get near the water. And if I was to catch anything, to try and get that through would just be a nightmare. So what I'm going to do is now we're going to go back down to the main lake, have a little go on there. There's loads of swims on that one I can fish. Hardly any of them are frozen over, so we'll give that a good go. And then by the time we get around to the other side and had a good fish, we can go back to that little secret spot and yeah, see if we've got anything that's sort of feeding on that bait we put in. But I'm really happy with this lure at the minute. I have cracked the lip slightly, so I don't know how long that's going to last, but I chipped it on the ice as I was bringing it in. But yeah, it's lovely out here. It's so peaceful. It's absolutely lovely. But what I'll do is pick the camera up, back her in the new spot, and hopefully we'll get something from the main lake. God, that sun is absolutely lovely. But this is a spot I used to fish. You can see there's like these steps that go down, and then there used to be a platform there. That platform's just collapsed now where it's so old. But down here there used to be a huge tree in the middle. It used to come out over to there. Brilliant spot for catching carp. That was always used to get carp out of there. So there's again one of those little stalking spots in the corner. Put a bit of bait in, come back about half hour later, and yeah, you was pretty much guaranteed a bite. But that tree's, God, it's been gone a couple of years now. But this is also good for pike. Down here underneath this willow, there's a lot of pike that hang about underneath there. So it's a little bit precarious. You can see how dodgy that is. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of dangle my lure there, and I'm going to sort of jig it around underneath there, just see if I can get anything. And if not, I'm going to go down by this tree, probably try and cast out a few times, because this is a really good area to try and get a pike from. I hate when people leave fishing line and things like that laying about. Look, all that, there's a hook on it, huge hook, loads of fish line. I hate it when that happens. Just be responsible, just take your stuff home with you, you know. It was easy enough for you to come around here and collect it. I don't know what this person was doing, but yeah, always try and take your stuff with you. I'll take this up and get rid of it. Let's try another spot. That whole side of the lake that I was just fishing on, it's just completely frozen still. I can't, if I do hook something, I'm not going to be able to get it to the bank just because of the ice. So I've come to this little spot here. So this is like the overflow for the lake. So there's like a little pipe there, the water goes down, and then there's a river that runs over the back there. So this is a good spot. I've caught pike from here before, but as you can see, the outline of the ice sort of comes around and then down to here. So I can't really fish as tight to that as I'd like to, but I can still fish this area. I've got, along this bank there's just loads of willow trees, so it is very snaggy along here, so I'm not going to be able to get too close to it. Oh, there's a cormorant up there. But yeah, I'm not going to be able to get too close because there's a lot of snags underneath all these trees, so I can sort of fish close to it. But yeah, that's about all I can do really. So we'll give this a spot, and then we'll just keep bumping our way down all these swims until we get to the end of the lake, and then that will take us to the little secret hiding spot at the back, and we'll give that a try. Oh, look at that. Check out that. A little frozen mushroom. Oh, that is literally solid. I don't want to mess too much with it because I might snap it, but oh, crazy. Morning.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, go on. Oh, cheers. Nothing so far, so next spot. No. I don't know if you saw that or not, but we had a bite. Thing tore off and yeah, came off. Gutted. That was. I'm going to carry on for a little while longer here, but yeah, absolutely gutted. That was the one. Well, I think that's all we've got. We had that one chance that we missed, which is a bit of a shame, but it is what it is. That's fish at the end of the day. So okay, so I've got everything set up. You're probably not going to see this too well, but I've got a very simple running rudder. I've just got a lead with a swivel going down to a hook with some bait. I'm not going to show you too much in detail because it's nothing special about this rig. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to lower this into place. I've got some more boilies that I've just crushed up. I'm going to chuck them over the top, leave the line completely slack, and yeah, give it a little go. You can see down there I've got my net ready. You've got to be really prepared in these sorts of situations. You need to be really quick off the feet, just to get that fish in the net before it even knows what's happened. So yeah, going to get this rig in place and see what we can do. So I think that's all I've got, to be honest. I've been here for a good sort of 45 minutes, nearly getting on for an hour now, and yeah, I've just not seen any signs of fish, to be honest. I've not chucked any more bait in, but what I've done is I did tighten the line up a little bit, not bowstring tight, just a little bit tight, just to see if I could see any liners or anything like that. And I've not seen anything, to be honest. There's been no bubbles, there's been no fizzing. Like I say, it's not deep there, so if there were fish in the area, you'd probably be able to see them. So I'm guessing they're sort of stacked up all together on some other part of the lake. But it is what it is in today. It was nice just to come out. I've probably been out for about 3 hours, 2.5, 3 hours now. And yeah, it's just nice getting out and about, really, testing out some of the lures that I've made. And to be honest, they all work completely fine. I've tested them all. A couple of them I didn't sort of use properly, so I didn't bother recording. I just wanted to see the action and stuff in the water. But yeah, to be honest, I'm happy with the way all the lures have worked. Gutted we lost that fish, absolutely gutted. I'm probably going to give it another sort of 10-15 minutes here, and if we still don't get any action, then I'm probably going to pack up and head off home. Oh, here comes my Ninja Warrior bit again. Oh god, this plank is an absolute death trap. Well, that's it. Yeah, it weren't brilliant. I was hoping to get something, I really was. There are some big perch in there, so I was hoping maybe we'd get a perch just because the lures are a little bit smaller. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's fishing. You're never guaranteed to catch. But I wouldn't say it's complete foul. It was nice still to get out, test the lures, you know, make sure they work, make sure they run, they cast perfectly, everything else. Test the clear coat, all that sort of stuff, and to us, it all held up absolutely perfectly. That we did have that one that had that chipped lip, but again, I've just got to get some thicker plastic for that. But overall, I'm happy. It doesn't matter we didn't catch it. To be honest, I'm not making excuses, but the conditions weren't the best. We had bright sunlight, it was frosty, part of the lake was frozen, and the water is still quite coloured up, but I was looking at a little inlet that we saw. There's a lot of clear fresh water coming into the lake now, so hopefully that's just going to push all the sediment out of the lake and make it a little bit clearer for next time. But yeah, I'm happy. It was nice just being out anyway. I like just getting out for a few hours. So I've still got plenty of the day left, so I'm going to get home, warm myself up, get everything packed away, and I'm probably going to spend the rest of the day in the snake room. Got a few more things I need to clean out, go through a few bits, and yeah, that's what I'm going to do the rest of my day. So I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.